They entered like royalty, buttoned-up linen shirts, well-rehearsed chuckles, and that gleam of self-importance I hadn't missed. The concierge glanced at me, uncertain. "Excuse me, sir, they say they're family?" I didn't reply. Just smiled. It had been a decade. 10 years since they vanished from my life the moment after we laid Emily to rest. 10 years of nothing. No calls, no messages. Just a silence so sharp it carved itself into my rhythm. And now, here they were, breezing into my home as if it were some beachside rental with complimentary forgiveness and ocean views. Let me take you back. I met Emily when all I had was grit and an old, barely functioning Jeep. Her family put up with me like people endure room temperature wine. Pleasant enough on the surface but laced with quiet disdain. I wasn't one of them. Not legacy, not polished, not Ivy League. But Emily saw me. Chose me. For a while, her family wore the mask of civility, forced smiles, backhanded praise, questions that felt more like job interviews. But Emily always buffered the blows. Under the table, she'd grip my hand in secret reassurance. When her mother dissected my career choices like an FBI agent with a file, Emily would redirect, soften, protect. Then came the cancer. It didn't crawl, it sprinted. 6 months from diagnosis to goodbye. Her family turned the loss into theater. Grand gestures, social tributes, foundations in her name. They gave grief a spotlight and turned mourning into marketing. Meanwhile, I mourned in private. Quietly. Completely. I only asked once. For a seat at the memorial. A small thing. But they didn't respond. Just excluded me like I never mattered. No explanation. They erased me from her death, like they'd always tried to erase me from her life. I tried to believe it was grief. Or time. But one day I saw her sister on Instagram. Lounging at the exact resort Emily and I honeymooned at. The caption read, "Full circle." That's when the weight tipped. That's when I stopped making excuses for them, and started building something else. First came the money. They assumed Emily's trust would return to the family. What they didn't know was that 2 weeks before she passed, she'd changed everything. It was all mine. I let the money sit, grow, and evolve into something powerful. When the time was right, I used it. I bought an estate. Oceanfront. 5 bedrooms. A pool that kissed the horizon. Direct access to the cove where Emily used to sketch the sea. I named it Solace, her middle name. Every inch of it was intentional. Clean. Legal. Beautiful. And then I waited. 10 years passed. I watched Patrick crash his real estate empire. Saw Claire divorce again and reinvent herself through crystals and quotes. Their parents, once untouchable, sold their house just to pay off debt. Life had stripped them down. But not enough. That's when I sent the invitation. It came from the Solace Foundation. Fabricated but official sounding, cloaked in exclusivity. I spun it as a quiet gala in honor of Emily. I even hired actors to drop hints and generate buzz. Word traveled, and right on cue, they RSVP'd. The night they arrived, I stood by the staircase, sipping bourbon like it held answers. Claire noticed me first. Her laugh froze midair. Patrick's smirk evaporated. Their parents halted behind them. The concierge still waited for confirmation. "Family, right?" I said, my voice calm. They didn't answer. They didn't need to. I let the silence thicken before speaking again. "Funny, when I buried your sister, you didn't show. But here you are for cocktails and real estate." Patrick straightened, tried to speak. I cut him off. "You thought I'd disappear. That I'd fall apart. That time would erase what you did." Their mother opened her mouth. I raised a hand. "No apologies. I'm not here for that. This isn't a homecoming. It's a reckoning." I pressed a remote. The lights dimmed. A projection flickered on the wall. It was a video. Our memories. Emily dancing, sketching, laughing, raw and unfiltered. Then her voice filled the room. A message she'd recorded weeks before she passed. One I'd kept close. Until now. To my family. "If you're seeing this, I'm gone. And if he's playing this, you finally decided to show up. Just remember, he stayed. When none of you did. He never gave up on me. Don't forget that." Claire broke down first, sobs that echoed. Their father turned away. Patrick clenched his jaw but said nothing. I switched the lights back on. My voice was quiet but unshakable. I own all of this now. The estate. Her name. The foundation. The trust. I didn't build this to share it. I built it so you'd know what you lost. They stood there stripped bare. No more illusions. No more pretending. Get out. 3 words. No fury. Just finality. They didn't argue. Didn't plead. Just walked out. Shadows slipping back into the dark. I watched from the balcony. Felt nothing. Not victory. Not rage. Just quiet. Later, the concierge asked if they'd be returning. I smiled just a little. They were never really here. Their hurt wasn't mine to carry. I never wanted revenge. I wanted peace. And I finally had it.